Hello. First of all, I would like you to thank you for listening. I would like you to ask you to do something for me. Okay? So take your hands, place it gently on your head, and feel your own head with your own fingers. Seems an easy thing to do, right? But I can assure you that a man made instrument or a robotic arm capable of doing this would be very difficult to make and very expensive. As your arms go up here, the precision instrument in your hands are monitoring the exact position of all your muscles. Thousands of sensory endings in your fingers are feeling the exact texture of your head, the shape of your ears, and the shape of the skull. Your brain is measuring the width of the skull with greatest of precisions. If a human factory were to produce an instrument or a robotic arm capable of doing that, then it would cost around hundreds of millions of rupees, more or less. Now think, what is between your hands when you do that? It's the brain. Now, brain is a kind of a computer which no human factory has ever produced. And if we ever succeed to make a computer which is as good as the human brain, then it would cost billions and billions of rupees as well as a lot of years for research and development. Yet, head like yours and hands like yours are manufactured millions of time over on a daily basis. A woman could do that with no research and development, only 9 months of gestation period and a little help from a friend. Life makes wonders of technology seem commonplace. Now, let us go further and see what life is about. Of all the world's societies, majority of them have practiced some form of ancestor worship. This is a totem of one particular cult of ancestor worship. Now, I am not going to encourage you to worship your ancestors. In fact, I am not going to encourage you to worship anything. But it's true that ancestors hold a key to understand the meaning of life. You might think that it's easy enough to become an ancestor, that it's easy enough to reproduce, relatively easy. But in order to become a successful ancestor, you need to have your descendants alive many generations hence. We can think about it by going back to one of the simplest life form, that is a bacterium, and right at the beginning of time, and think about how many bacteria would be there, say so after 50 generations of reproduction. Now let's see this by folding a paper. Every time we fold a paper means that is one generation of reproduction. Now we have to go on folding the paper 50 times. Okay, now after one generation of reproduction we have two bacterium. Now when I fold the paper once again, now on the second generation we have four bacterium. Okay, now once again we fold the paper and it becomes 8, and then it will become 16, 32, and so on. Let's go on folding the paper 50 times. This paper is out, it can't be folded 50 times. I guess we have to take help of mathematics over here. To calculate the thickness of paper, we go on multiplying by 2 50 times. We got 1,000 trillion, one with 15 zeros after it. This paper is tenth of a millimeter thick. Okay, now if we multiply this by 1,000 trillion, now we get the thickness of the paper would be 100 million kilometers. The thickness of this paper would take us out to the orbit of Mars. The number of bacteria after a mere 50 generations of reproduction is that much. But for bacteria, it's nothing. It could go 50 generations in a day. After a week, the number of bacteria would exceed number of atoms in the known universe by around 1 billion times. Mathematicians call this exponential growth. But after a certain amount of population has been reached, natural factors set in to regulate the amount of size of population. So, our original assumption that it is easy to become an ancestor is wrong. Only an elite becomes an ancestor. In a short span of years, the entire world is filled with vast number of bacteria, elephants, human flesh, etc. and so on. So, it follows that most of the organisms which are born must die without becoming an ancestor. So only elite are destined to become an ancestor. The ones that are going to be ancestors will be the ones those who are good at it. That is, to find food, to avoid being eaten alive, to find a mate, reproduce, to become good parents, and so on. That's really just a way of putting Darwin's theory of natural selection. Because we that survive have inherited genes from a long line of successful ancestors. We have whatever it takes to make them successful as our ancestors. Hence, we are lucky to be alive.